we'd like to talk to you mostly about your experience out at Maryvale High School. You've been out there over the course of the morning. For our audience that is watching around the world, if they're not familiar, there was a horrible story there. Maybe you could start by just giving us a little bit of the backstory of the violence that happened inside a classroom.
Yeah, this all happened last Tuesday, and as Ron mentioned, inside the classroom at Maryvale High School, a deadly stabbing. So two male students, they got into some sort of fight. It led to a deadly stabbing. A 16-year-old, his name is Chris Aguilar. He's now being charged as an adult, and as you're seeing right there, that's court documents saying that multiple witnesses heard that this suspect was going to, or told other people he was going to murder the victim, Michael Montoya, and court documents also saying that he stabbed him multiple times. But the question so many people have, obviously this is tragic, a death here inside a high school classroom, but so many people are wondering how this happened. It states that the suspect used a small pocket knife. The thing is, Maryvale High School has a weapons detection system. So many people are wondering what that looks like and how he even got the small pocket knife onto the campus. So we reached out to the school district because students returned to in-person learning for the first time today.
Okay, and you were actually out there.
Yes.
It's a situation you have to handle delicately, obviously. I mean, there are a lot of people, I'm sure a lot of students, a lot of parents that are still just dealing with the raw emotions of it all. But what did you find when you had a chance to at least talk to a few people?
It was kind of an eerie feeling on the campus a little bit. I would say it was pretty desolate. Like there was not that typical 7 a.m., 8 a.m. rush of students. So now we're kind of wondering, did a lot of people come back to school today, or is that due to fear? A student I spoke to said he just wants to be able to focus on his schoolwork, but feels like there's this looming feeling because he, even himself, a student, is wondering, how did this kid get a small pocket knife onto the campus?
Right. And the fact that it happened in the classroom, have you heard any reporting yet about what was going on with the other students and or the teacher in the classroom in this particular case?
That hasn't come up. I was actually also out there on Tuesday, and there was a small handful of students that were walked out with administrators or staff, students that were visibly emotional and upset that had been close to where this happened.
Oh, yeah.
That was hard to see, and you saw kind of that students upset leaving and parents very worried to get to their kids. But the school district tells us, because we've asked what is kind of the level of these weapon detection systems.
Sure.
High, low, because we know they can put them on different settings.
Right.
Well, the school district says they can't discuss that with us, but they're going to have additional measures in place this week. So we don't know what that looks like.
Anybody else that you had a chance to talk with today?
So I spoke to one student, a senior there, who said he just wants to focus on school over this. I also talked to an older brother that was walking his young brother to school. That was just like, this is weird.
Yeah.
Students were online all last week. So now they're back in person today.
Yeah. By the way, Melinda's watching. This is the beauty of our show here, where people can immediately interact. What are your own ideas on how to keep our precious children safe in schools? You've covered a number of stories on school-related violence. Have you learned anything over the course of covering them?
I wish there was a little more transparency on what these weapon, detection systems are doing or what the level of that is, because it's hard to explain how a small weapon gets on a campus when there's, things to prevent that. And I think, Celeste, you just joined us, but as a parent, you're probably wondering, what else is being able to be brought on campus if you can't keep a small pocket knife off campus?
Yeah, and I think the scary thing too, is I know that they had been told, according to some of the sources, and you may know better than I do, to not get involved, like teachers and kids, when you see something like this, don't get involved, wait for the school resource officer. But I wonder if there's like an additional officer that can be brought in at times, like to some of these campuses where maybe they believe there is a higher, chance of something like this happening, because the videos that were circulating on social media, there were people who were watching this take place. I think that's pretty scary.
Yeah, I bet that's hard as a student. Standing there and watching that, and the videos Celeste is talking about and in court documents. The the suspect who did this stabbed the kid multiple times. It was,
Right.
and he was talking about it around school
ahead of time.
So
and
that makes you think, how did other people
Right.
or
See
law
something,
enforcement
say
or
something.
at
Yes.
the school hire people up, not say something or get involved? But as of today, there will be a larger local law enforcement presence. But then you wonder, does that always need to be so?
Well, it sounds
true.
like that may be one of the stories we'll have to follow up on. How many students, are not showing up, even though it is time to return to the classroom. Thank you, Kenzie. Yeah. I mean, it's understandable that they are dealing with the just the raw emotions of it all. And the stories will eventually come out
Yeah.
of students, Celeste, who saw it when it happened, as it unfolded in the actual classroom. That's going to be hard to listen to, that's for sure. But, eventually those kinds of stories do come out.